Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Errol Spence and Terenece Crawford are at each other's throats. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, it feels good to be back. I'm back in California. I went and covered Danny Garcia versus Shawn Porter. Had a great time in New York. And one thing that I really love, I thought the main event was a real good fight. I gave some thoughts from my hotel room. Check that out on the channel. But the great thing about Al Heyman, Premier Boxing Champions, the stars come out. You know, they had Chadwick Boseman from Black Panther. You had Gerald Big Baby Miller, the Charlos, Broner, Errol Spence, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis. You just had a ton of people, you know, other athletes and people out there. And they usually come to the big fights in the big cities. And I love that, you know, because there's a lot of action, a lot of stuff going on. Now, one thing that went on is while they were waiting for Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia to pass their medicals and, you know, do their little inspections or whatnot, post-fight, they gave Errol Spence the podium and allowed him and Broner to talk. But as far as Errol Spence, it looked like he was about to leave. And he said, oh, yeah, one more thing. And then he just started ripping Terenece Crawford, right? Obviously, there are two guys in the division, two of the best guys, if not the best two in the division. So Terenece Crawford got a hold of it and got wind of it, and they've been at it all day. You know, I was on the plane, so I wasn't able to make the video till right now. But this is what Errol Spence says. He said, get off the gas. Like I said, smoke and mirrors. You haven't fought anybody. We'll see in the next 10 months who I fight and who you fight. No comparison, LOL. And everybody you fought, I'll probably stop within 6 rounds. This is a response to Terenece Crawford's tweet. He says, LOL, at Errol Spence. Yeah, you was drunk last night. Boy, you are no way, shape, or form the A-side dummy. Crying emojis. You talking about who I beat? Everybody you beat, I'll smash, boy. How many titles and different weight classes have you won? I'll wait. Right? So they're at each other's necks. And in response to, let's see who you fight in the next 10 months and who I fight, this is what Terenece Crawford said. Let's see when me and you fight. I don't care who else you fight. You know, so Terenece Crawford is basically saying, I don't care about matching resumes in the next 10 months unless it's going to be me and you fighting. Now, obviously, this conversation and this talk got people buzzing. And, you know, I give props to Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia because they were in a meaningful welterweight fight. It was a good fight. It delivered. It was a good fight on paper. But sometimes fights on paper don't deliver in person or live. But this fight did. And this kind of got the welterweight division jumping, you know. And Errol Spence did say, I respect Crawford, though, earlier before I think Crawford responded to it. So he stated his spot. To me, this is a little subliminal, because Terenece Crawford said that this is my block or something like that. And then Errol Spence says it's my block. But I don't know. I think, I don't know, you know, I really like both of these guys, Errol Spence and Terenece Crawford. I think this might have been a misunderstanding initially with the whole my block thing. I think Terenece Crawford, because he had a literal street in Omaha named after him. It said like Terrence Bud Crawford Street or Avenue or Boulevard, some shit, right? And I think he was referencing that, but maybe it was a double entendre. And then Errol Spence took it like, hey, how is it your block? We got all the top welterweights on the Heyman side. It ain't your block, it's my block, you know? So I don't know what caused all this, but I really like both fighters. And at the end of the day, you know, shots fired. I don't know when this fight will happen. A lot of people are buzzing for it and want to see it. Terenece Crawford obviously is new to welterweight, so it's really not going to happen anytime soon because he already has a scheduled fight, right? And last time I checked, they're trying to schedule Errol Spence's next fight, which may be Mikey Garcia. So Crawford himself has to get past Jose Benavidez. And as far as Errol Spence, it sounded like they were in the process of trying to see if they could put together Mikey Garcia, right? Listen, at the end of the day, oh, here's another comment. Terence Crawford says, and I like Lamont Peterson, but come on now. The two guys I stopped and punished that didn't even win a round beat Lamont. He's talking about Felix Diaz and who else beat Lamont? I'm trying to think of what guys he's referring to. Beat Lamont. Who beat Lamont? I know Felix Diaz, he had a close fight with Lamont Peterson. I'm trying to think of who he's referring to. I'm drawing a blank because I'm thinking of Lamont Peterson's record. Matisse, Amir Khan. Deary Jean. That's what it is. He's talking about Deary Jean. Yeah, because that's the only mutual opponent. I was thinking, I was like, man, who did he fight? Who's the mutual opponent? Okay, so let me see this again. He said, not like Lamont Peterson, but come on now. The two guys I stopped and punished that didn't even win a round beat Lamont. I don't know why he said Deary Jean beat Lamont, though. I guess that's what kind of threw me off, right? I can understand a lot of people said Felix Diaz could have won or arguably won. It was a robbery. But I don't know about Deary Jean. I don't remember. I got to watch that fight again. Because I thought, no, he didn't get stopped. Deary Jean didn't get stopped, but I don't know. I remember Barry Hunter slapped Lamont Peterson. He said, stop clowning around. I don't know. I got to watch that fight again. And he said, and Chris Algieri was a kickboxer, crying emoji. Stop drinking, dude. It's bad for your health. And we could bet $1 million I make more than you after taxes. Big money, man. Wow. It's getting personal. I don't know what all these finances and look at my W-2s and, 1099 tax breakdown. It's getting crazy. I respect Errol Spence. I respect Terence Crawford. They're the best guys at the division, in my opinion. Some people will say Sean Porter. Some people will say Keith Thurman. But in my opinion, I think they're the guys to beat, in public perception and consensus. Obviously, Terence Crawford has to continue fighting because he's new. But, it's just like certain guys get it. Like, I think Terence Crawford is the number one pound for pound, just he moved up in weight and the way he's making it look, and with no Floyd, no Andre Ward. Certain guys, you almost, I don't know if this is right, how some of you guys perceive it, but for me, you almost give them a bit of credit. Like Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, they can move up in weight and still be the favorite to beat guys. Like Terence Crawford, he moved up in weight and he was the favorite to beat Jeff Horn. Now, this is my thing. This is my honest opinion with Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn, I don't think he is technically, fundamentally super sound, but I give Crawford a lot of credit because he moved up 7 pounds where he was undisputed. He could have fought Jose Ramirez. He could have tried to fight Regis Prograis, right? But he didn't sit around, milk it. He gave his body a rest and said, I'm moving up to the next division. That's one thing. Two, I do think even though Jeff Horn's not fundamentally sound, he's a big welterweight. He's supposed to have a big punch. And, he hurt Pacquiao, I think, in round 6. And he's durable. So that alone and him being awkward and beating Pacquiao, or in his mind I thought Pacquiao won, to be honest, but in his mind he beat Pacquiao and he got the accolades and the belt from beating Pacquiao. The judges said he beat him, and then they rescored it and 5 judges said he beat him. So I'm sure that upped his confidence. And Crawford, I was at the fight, he just destroyed him like it wasn't shit. So I do give him credit for the Jeff Horn, because you look at even like Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter. Danny Garcia, he was having issue with Sean Porter, his style and what was giving him looks, because he was like mixing it up and mauling him and busy, and it takes a certain attributes to nullify that. That's not that, man. I talked to Andre Ward. I mean, he's one of the GOATs, and he told me, he said a lot of people they look at, he said the hardest style to deal is them awkward dudes, because it's not textbook. It's not what you expect. They're throwing wild and sloppy, and contrary to a lot of people's belief, it's not the guys who are technical, because you can kind of it's almost like a computer. How most guys are trained, computer programmed to throw this punch, and then for the second punch throw this punch. You know what I'm saying? Versus, that's why Floyd Mayweather had a difficult fight with Maidana and a difficult fight with Emmanuel Burton, because he's not traditional. He's especially Emmanuel Burton. You know, he's real, just awkward dancing, and it's hard to get a beat on. You know, like a Cassidy and Freeway battle, bars. Hey yo, put a beat on. You know, it's hard to get a read and a beat on what he's trying to do because he's just erratic in there. It's kind of like talking to someone with Tourette's versus talking to someone who doesn't have Tourette's. The person with Tourette's, shit, fuck, corn dog. You know, you don't know what the fuck is gonna come out of their mouth. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Bottom line is, I expected this because Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, they're cut from the same cloth in terms of being throwback fighters. I don't think they're scared of each other. I firmly believe that Terence Crawford thinks he can beat Errol Spence, and I firmly believe that Errol Spence believes he can beat Terence Crawford, you know? And they want to take the other person's hype away, and, you know, on some Highlander shit, take their power. So that's what happens when you get two highly competitive people. It's going to be a high-speed chess match when they do fight. I don't know when it'll happen, but it's definitely good for the build-up. Again, I don't know the business side because Errol Spence said there's politics. Fuck what you talking about. It's the reality of it. And I understand where he's coming from with that, because whether we like it or not, I would love to see the greatest fights and the best fights, but I'm a realist, you know, and I know Crawford has fought Heyman guys because I was at one of them. I was at the John Molina Jr. fight in Omaha. And he fought Felix Diaz, who's with Lou DiBella and Al Heyman, that whole side. But I gotta see them put together a cross promotion with two A-listers, you know, two guys that are doing very well for themselves. Like Felix Diaz, career-wise, he was doing cool for himself, but he wasn't a big name. Like casuals wouldn't know who he is. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, they're doing very well for themselves. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to see, and that's what I have to see to really believe it. And see, it's like prison. Everybody's clicking up, you know, the Mexicans with the Mexicans, the blacks with the blacks, the Aryan Brotherhood together, you know, and everyone's clicking up with their own networks and shit. So I'm not saying it's not doable, and for the fans it should be doable, and they'll make more money if they start putting together unifications, undisputed, and these types of fights. So I'm not copping pleas. I'm not saying, you know, I rep new media. I come up with new media. You know what I'm saying? Me and Dante. So I'm not saying this is what I want, but there's a lot of people in suits who they have other plans. Because here's an example. Mikey Garcia, free agent, Vasyl Lomachenko, one of the best fights to be had in boxing. And are we gonna get it, or are we gonna get Lomachenko versus Ray Beltran, Jose Pedraza, who we know Jose Pedraza is the winner? What are we getting? Lomachenko versus Pedraza. You get what I'm saying? So I just have to see it. I gotta see them put together a major fight, a marquee fight with two guys who are doing very well for themselves, who both have something to lose in terms of momentum, an O on their resume, stuff like that. It's a great fight. I don't think either guy is ducking either guy. This is certainly great for the build-up and for the fans, and it's creating that early Mayweather-Pacquiao type of buzz where you got people arguing already. Oh, Crawford would do this to him, or Errol Spence too big. You know. So we'll see how it plays out. Shout out to both guys. I like both guys. I've been, around both guys. So shout out to both of them. We'll see how this plays out. But that is the latest between the two of them at each other's throats. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.